In this video, in details as usual, I'm going to share with you how to replace front CV axles on Honda Rubicon. Let me show you why we're doing that. As you can see, CV axles boots are torn apart. Not a good sign, not reliable. We have to put in new axles. We're not going to replace boots. We have Honda Rubicon. This is 2018 year model. Alright, yeah, as you can see, all tools are here. I will show you all sizes, sockets, how to do it step by step to get the axles out. Put it in, torque specs, everything you need to know. Well, without further ado, let's get started. First, my wheels are choked. Make sure ATV won't roll anywhere. Very important, safety as usual are always priority. I have a front tires removed. As you can see, 17 mil I used to remove all those 8 lug nuts. I removed 2 wheels because I have to do both sides, but I will show you how to do it on the left side. Right side will be the same. Okay, as you can see, now we have a perfect access. It's sitting on a block, jack it up, and now I'm going to clean the threads. Upper shock mount bolt, lower one, make sure there's no dirt and grind on a bolt threads. It will make everything easy. 14 mil socket and a wrench. I'm just going to break that bolt loose. I'm not going to remove it completely, just take that tension off. And bottom bolt we're going to remove completely. Here we go, pull it out, and let's get shock removed from the upper control arm. I'm using a bungee cord to keep my shock absorber up. Make sure it's not on our way. If you're not a subscriber, go and subscribe. Very appreciating that. Okay, our shock up out of the way. Good. Next, we're going down to our brake caliper and splash shield. I turn my wheel hub all the way to the left to give myself much room to work on it. 12 mil wrench or socket. Let's remove 2 brake caliper holding bolts. Here we go, one on the bottom, one at the top, and we're going to pull the brake caliper off the brake rotor. I keep all bolts, all fasteners, nuts in a tray. Let's pull our brake caliper off. As you can see, nice and easy. Perfect time to check the brake pads for wear, and also if you need to replace the brake rotor, we can do that as well. There we go. And now I'm going to secure the brake caliper with a twisty wire. Make sure it won't hang on a brake hose. Alright, next we have a plastic splash shield, 10 mil. There's 2 bolts. Let's remove them. One on the bottom, one at the top. Nice and easy. Alright. Now we have much more room. Alright, cutter pin removal. I am using the side cutters. Let's straighten up pin ends. Make sure they're all straight. Will be much easier to pull the pin from the axle hole. Alright. Nice and straight. I'm grabbing another end of the pin where the head and prying against the nut and biting up and down. Here we go, pin is out. Now we're close to the nut. Alright, now I'm going to wedge the hub with a pry bar. Make sure it won't turn. Now we need a socket and our trusted rigid 1/2 inch impact. I'm putting on Mark's torque. Let's give it. Yeah, usually it's no problem, and it's pretty loud. I thought it won't be. Alright, ear muffs to protect our ears. Alright, and here we go. Nut is removed from the axle. Beautiful. Okay, now we can pull our brake rotor out. As you can see, can check the condition of the rotor, and there is some grease from the splines. Alright, let's clean the splines and the outer bearing seal. As you can see, there is a wheel bearing. Alright, let's keep it everything is clean, and because we have to put a new part and we're prepping everything at the same time we're removing. Here we go. Much better. We don't need to remove the dust guard. Now lower control arm bolts, we have to remove those ones to give ourselves a clearance to pull the axle out, and we'll lift the upper one as well. Okay, wire brush, let's clean our bolts. Usually there's some dirt build-up, penetrant. Alright, let's spray our bolts. Those ones are usually pretty rusted, but 2018 machine is not that old. 14mm wrenches. Guys, if you have any comments, questions, critics, suggestions, recommendations, put everything down in the comment section below under the video. Here we go, and we are moving to another side. Let's remove those bolts. That will come out pretty easy. As you can see, it's just a pleasure to work on small vehicles like ATVs compared to the 30-ton hydraulic excavators. Big Caterpillar bulldozers. This is just a joke. Alright, bolt is removed. Yeah, let's pull another one as well, and we are keeping all fasteners together. I like to put a nut on a bolt and keep everything in order. Alright, let's pull the lower control arm off the frame. Beautiful. Alright, now we can push the axle all the way out through by lifting our upper control arm all the way, and axle is out from the hub. Alright, as you can see, I'm going to use the strap to lift my upper control arm with a hub and keep it out the way. Yeah, this way we have much more clearance to work on the axle, and it won't be on our way. Okay, the classic way to pull the axle. Yeah, you just grab it and you pull it out. Here we go. It only has that snap ring at the very end, holding that inside the transmission. Yeah, axle is removed, and it means we're halfway through the job. And take a look. Yeah, boot is torn. And how did that happen? Well, mud dried up, turned into the hard dirt, was frozen, and yeah, rocks chewed the boot. Alright, let's clean the lip of the seal on the side of the transmission. Just clean all the debris and dirt. It will prevent oil from leaking out of the transmission. I'm just cleaning with a clean paper towel. Also, I'm going to use some brake clean, spray it, and just wipe that seal a little bit. Make sure there's no any debris or dirt on the seal. Yeah, keep everything clean, and will be much better quality repair. Alright, that's all prepped. I'm going to apply a little bit of silicone based lubricant to the seal lip. That will extend the life of the seal. Don't need much, just a little bit. Yeah, seal glide lubricating compound. Here we go. Good. Okay, here's a replacement part. Nietzsche. I got this one from Amazon. Honestly, it was dirt cheap. Yeah, for 2 axles, like $110. Okay, yeah, there is a part number. This axle for the left side. Yeah, here we go. Nietzsche. 4 times cheaper than Honda OEM1. I don't mind to use the cheap parts. Works. Okay, let's pull the axle out, and I can see it looks the same, but we'll always go and compare old removed original part to new one we just removed from the vehicle, and as you can see, they're identical. Splines, length, design, all the same, and this axle came with the new crown nut. Yeah, pretty nice. Alright, let's remove the nut. It's on our way. because we have to install it. Yeah, okay, new axle is ready to go. And well, installation, as you can see on the snap ring, which has to be inside the transmission and get locked inside the gear. All right, let's put a little bit of lubricant at the end. It will help the axle to slide in nicely, and as you can see, it has a splines. Next, we have to align the splines on the city axle with the splines inside the transmission. You can feel it when it got into that sweet spot, and boom, yeah, and we'll get in a little bit, and then you have to push it. I'll show you just in a second how to get it in. Make sure it's aligned, and you feel that little step. Okay, now it's in. Snap ring is holding the axle out. Okay, I still have that nut, like rubber mallet, rubber hammer, and one hard strike, and it's in. Perfect. It's all locked. It's all in place. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. Flash all the way in. No gap. And it's locked. Now, time to put another end inside the wheel hub. Let's remove the nut. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, guys, if this video is helpful, informational, interesting to watch, put a thumbs up. Yeah, thank you so much for doing that. Well, nice and shiny, clean, new axle. Okay, I'm also going to apply some silicone blade based lubricant compound to the splines and to the part of the axle which is going through the wheel bearing. Yeah, it will prevent some corrosion, and axle will slide inside the hub easier. Yeah, all right, that's enough. You don't need a lot. Here we go. Now we're going to put the axle through the wheel bearing inside the hub. As you can see, everything's coming in place. Now I'm releasing my strap. Axle is aligned, and we'll push it all the way through, and we'll get in. Beautiful, easy, no problem. Now we can release the strap more and get it all the way in. Yeah, beautiful. Axle is in. Now we're going to undo that strap. We don't need it anymore. Thank you. Strap for holding our upper control arm. Let's put our lower control arm in its original place, aligning those brackets. Here we go. Remember which way bolts were installed. Let's put the bolts through, the front one and the back one. Now lower control arm is in place. You can also check the condition of the bushings if you need it at this time. Alright, bolt is through. As usual, we always start nuts by hand. Few threads, make sure not going to cross thread. Yeah, okay, because everything's clean, it's nice and easy to start. Alright, and I'm going to tie the nut with a ratchet wrench and torquing them down to 25 foot-pounds of torque. I will put the link to the website which I use for torque specs. Let's clean our hub. See a little bit old grease around. Yeah, I will put all those torque specs down in the description of the video, and the website I'm using for Honda torque specs, but you always refer to your service repair manual to your specific ATV, and this video is only for demonstration how you do it, and works for me. Try not to touch the rotor with your greasy hands. Sure there's no grease. Alright, let's put our rotor back, line up a splines and push it in. Beautiful, nice and easy. Alright, let's start our axle nut. Yeah, front wheel hub nut. Alright, let's just tighten it up with a wrench, and then we'll do the final torque when we'll have wheels on the ground. Here we go. Now axle compressed against the hub, and it's all the way in. Beautiful. Yeah, my ATV moved a little bit, not a big of a deal. We're almost ready to drop it on the ground. Alright, not as tight but not torqued. We'll do that, and then we'll put cutter pin in. Alright, well, now we're going to put our brake caliper back. Let's just refresh the surface, just clean it with a wire brush, and our splash shield is going in the same original place, but we're doing the brake caliper first. Let's undo that wire. I like to pay attention to those little details, and it usually helps people if you do it for yourself for the first time. Make sure the brake hose is not twisted, it's straight line. Pay attention to that. As you can see, it just follows nicely all the way to the back, and no twists, no kinks. Yeah, beautiful. Let's just clean the surface on the brake caliper before installing. Just refresh it with a wire brush. Okay, let's get our brake caliper in place. Align the holes where those mounting bolts will go. Yeah, started those bolts by hand. Yeah, and yeah, beautiful design, easy to work. Just a pleasure. Okay, and torque specs for front brake caliper bolts is 22 foot-pounds of torque. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. And little plastic splash shield, those 10 mil bolts. Well, torque specs for those is 8 foot-pounds. Okay, yeah, align those ones. Yeah. Well, if you have a broken, torn CV axle boot, yeah, let me know down in the description. How did it happen and why? And how many clicks on your Honda Rubicon. Alright, as you can see, everything's in place, all parts are installed. And yeah, beautiful. Alright, now we still have our shock absorber to put it in place. It's just hanging up. Yeah, we're going to do that. Alright, let's put it down. Let's get that bolt out and connect the shock absorber to the upper control arm. As you can see, everything's pretty straightforward, doable. Yeah, if I can do it, you can do it. Okay, a lower control arm shock absorber bolt is in. Now I'm going to tighten it up with a wrench and ratchet. I'm going to use my rigid 3/8 impact. Works just great. Yeah, let's tighten it up with a rigid and torque it. We have a single type shock absorber. I'm going to torque it to 80 foot-pounds of torque. Yeah, and should be good enough. Yeah, alright, tire is back. Started the lug nuts. As you can see, only 4 of those. Yeah, well, let's snag the lug nuts on a cross pattern. Here we go, and we'll torque them later when ATV will be on the ground. Okay, let's load the ATV down. I removed already my blocks from underneath, and voila. Okay, now time to torque our lug nuts to 50 foot-pounds of torque. Alright, as you can see, new nut is too high, too tall, and I cannot get my cutter pins through, and there's no way I can tighten it more, and it just won't go. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take it off and reuse it original Honda axle nut. As you can see how much taller is aftermarket one. Okay, I'm going to put a original one. We'll do it, nothing wrong with that. I'm happy. And there's 2 holes, and see which one lines up. Alright, let's torque it up. And torque specs for the front wheel hub nut is 101 foot-pounds of torque, and as you can see, one hole is not quite lined up, but we have another one on the side which is perfectly lined up. And If none of them line up, you just turn it slightly more to get it lined up and get that cotter pin through. And now I'm going to bend the ends. As you can see, cotter pin is in and snag, bend it in, and bottom one like that. Easy and reliable, it's safe, and it's permanent. Check it out. Well guys, thank you so much for watching this video almost to the end. Appreciated that. Well, 2 axles are replaced. Wasn't big of a deal. In real, it took me about 2.5 hours. Yeah, alright. Brand new axles are installed. Those ones as scrap metal. Yeah, well, I'm going to take a ATV for a spin, see how it runs, and yeah, tell you, yeah, ATV is running like a new. It was running good with those old ones, but now new ones are much more reliable, and ATV is ready for a season. By the way, we have 7,782 kilometers. That's when I replaced axle. Yeah, take care. Bye-bye.